father at home before driving to the school and killing his mother who worked there.
Just to remind you of the information coming through that the gunman has been identified locally as Ryan Lanza, a 24-year-old who apparently went and shot his father before travelling to the school where his mother worked, killing her, other adults and 18 children as well. Ryan Lanza, 24 years old. Reports say he was armed with a .22 rifle, could be heard arguing and shouting as he went into the school, and then fired off more than 100 rounds. Go to Washington, and our correspondent Kim Ghattas. Kim, I think you have more information.
The officials, and as you've been mentioning, we have a little bit more information about the shooter, Ryan Lanza, 24 years old. As we've been hearing from one of the guests on our program, it may have been a question of a young, quiet, angry man who was alienated in his community, had some grief to deal with, and makes a last stand by first shooting dead his father at home and then shooting his mother in the school, the Sandy Hook Elementary School. She was a teacher there, a kindergarten teacher.
A bit more information just coming through on the ABC website about the gunman, Ryan Lanza, 24, which we knew. It's being reported locally. Dead body found in his home, believed to be the father. Sources telling ABC that he was armed with 4 weapons and wearing a bulletproof vest when he opened fire inside the elementary school where his mother taught as well. This is according to sources speaking to ABC News. Are just joining us. These are the recent pictures from the Sandy Hook Elementary School. In fact, these are live pictures from Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown in Connecticut, where Ryan Lanza, a 24-year-old gunman, has driven to this elementary school with children aged from 5 to 10, opened fire, shooting his mother, who worked at the school, and leaving 27 people dead, among them 18 children. Some reports suggest that an entire class may not be accounted for. The question of security has been raised. The fact that ordinarily anyone who visited that school had to be buzzed in and everything visible on closed-circuit TV and on video cameras. If it is confirmed that Ryan Lanza shot his mother in there, who was a teacher or worked at the school, it may well be that such security checks weren't needed for somebody like him, who would have been known perhaps to the school authorities. But ABC, our sister broadcaster in America, saying that he was wearing a bulletproof vest and had 4 weapons. We also understand that among those weapons was a .22 rifle.
Police and emergency services were alerted at just after 9:30 local time when a 911 call was received, and over 100 shots were heard by witnesses. Shortly after that time, frightened children were seen, between the ages of 5 and 10, seen running from various school buildings, but for several, as hospitals began to treat the victims, there were checkpoints mounted by local police, and they recovered 2 9mm handguns from the scene. At one stage there were reports that they were searching for an accomplice, but of course it now emerges that those reports were inaccurate, and as Tim was saying, 24-year-old Ryan Lanza is being named as the chief suspect.
Actually, Sue, we're just hearing on the AP wires, the Associated Press wires, that the younger brother of Ryan Lanza is currently being held. Is it already raising question marks about security, the fact that this gunman appeared to be able to walk straight in armed with a bulletproof vest and commit such an outrage?
You know, one of the things that that we're checking into right now, we believe that, believe it or not, this school instituted some kind of new security policy very recently. And so, you know, we don't think that, at least I have no information to believe that that was because of any kind of specific threat. But we don't.
Lieutenant Governor and I have been to in an attempt that we might be prepared for something like this playing itself out in our state.
A 24-year-old man was also found dead at the scene. He has been named by US media as Ryan Lanza, who was 24 years of age. A body was found at the family home, which reports say was his father. His mother was a teacher at the school. She too, it's reported, is one of the victims. Some copy just coming in from the New York Times actually, who said that the alleged gunman in this deadly shooting at the school in Connecticut shot and killed his mother, who was a teacher at the school, before gunning down the students in her classroom. We have been reporting that an entire classroom of students was unaccounted for earlier. The police have not confirmed as of yet who the victims are or what their ages were, but this is according to the New York Times, that the mother of the chief suspect, Ryan Lanza, was shot in the school along with 7 other adults and 18 students before, according to this report, the suspect turned the gun on himself. So that is the latest.
As much information as possible. We're also hearing that Ryan Lanza's younger brother has been arrested by police. Ryan Lanza's father shot dead, it's reported, before he drove to the school with a bulletproof vest and armed with 4 weapons. Making his way in, there was a commotion, we understand, in the main entrance to this school, but as Sue was pointing out, the New York Times saying that he then walked up to his mother's classroom, shot her, 18 children and 7 other adults before then turning the gun on himself.
As you've been mentioning about the alleged gunman, Ryan Lanza, he opened fire. He first shot dead his father in the family home. He then went to the school where his mother was a kindergarten teacher, and he shot her and several other children and adults in this rampage. We understand that his younger brother, Ryan's younger brother, has been detained by the police.
Details are still emerging at a very early stage, of course, about what actually happened, but it seems that the suspect gained entry to the school because he was known to the people at the school. What does it make you think, all of this, about school security and, of course, gun control?
It's just a hard call. You know, it's almost impossible to secure a facility. You know, who's walking in, who's walking out. I know. Normally they have like a buzzard. I believe even this school has a buzzard. You know, the other elementary school has a buzzard. Where you have to ring the bell and let them in. Unfortunately, this particular person, his mother, was one of the people that he killed. He went to the school prior to this, he was in New Jersey killing his father, from what I understand. And this kid, who knew what triggered this kid? You know what I mean? It's just, at 9 o'clock in the morning, Friday afternoon, a week before Christmas, and this kid comes up with this idea to do this. I don't know. I really don't know.
Minutes, but just a few more bits of information about the gunman, Ryan Lanza, the 24-year-old, his younger brother being held for questioning. His mother has been named as Nancy Lanza. She worked at a school, as a kindergarten teacher at that school. 18 children in her class, it now appears, were killed. But the official quoted on the AP news agency is saying that Ryan Lanza's girlfriend and another friend are missing in New Jersey. So the search is on for them.
There was a suspect that's been named by US media, 24-year-old Ryan Lanza. We are told from media reports that he shot himself in the school after killing his father at home and then going to the school to kill his mother, Nancy Lanza, who works at Connecticut, at the school there as a teacher, and then, according to reports, opened fire on the classroom of children that his mother taught.
Which would mean that 18 children, potentially an entire class, had been shot dead by Ryan Lanza, who's been named locally. We're also hearing that police are holding his younger brother and also searching for his girlfriend and another friend in New Jersey. The boy's, Ryan Lanza's mother has been named as Nancy Lanza, where she'd worked